Hello, back to winning ways against Hyde United.
Yeah, we needed to get back to winning ways. Frank, I'll be honest with you. I won't tell you what was said, but we stayed in the dressing room for 40 minutes on Saturday after the game, and we questioned, one or two things that needed questioning. But the signs of a good unit, a good squad, he's doing that today. Doing that, and that's bouncing back, and that's against a really good Hyde United side that Spoons and Gab McCann have put together. I listened to kind of some shouting behind me today. I don't think people realise the hard work that goes in. They've created an excellent unit here. They're lucky to have them. We've just been at our best today. But Hyde are a good side. He had a couple of good key players missing, but it wasn't about kind of what they did today. It was about how we responded. Harrison Wood's performance probably typified what we're about today. That running, that energy. I set themselves a target about running hard. I gave the example on Saturday about Macclesfield, and people listen to the interview, but what I'll never do is question the desire of that dressing room. They've been brilliant. And we can't forget where we've come from, Frank. We were next to bottom, and Matlock were bottom, I think, and played each other, and look what's happened at the end of the season. Unfortunately, Matlock have lost the place, and we've stayed up comfortably. So it shows what a journey the group have been on. But I needed to say Saturday that every time you report for this football club, it's more important than the last time you reported to it, and that's either training, game days, and that was the overarching message Saturday, and that was said today, and they've responded so well.
Brilliant. Well, we saw a difference then today. I mean, hopefully that continues then for this Saturday last game.
We just brought what we know we can bring. I thought you like Dino, Ben Huff and Hopper, we'd had a chat about how we run over them in midfield and get on the ball and get our rotations right. I thought it was really important to have our wide men with energy. Ben Hardcastle missed Saturday, he was exceptional. Harrison Wood, we've had to change the back three. Muzzle were devastated after Saturday and the ball going under his foot. But, put Neildy in there alongside Clive. I thought the three of them were excellent. Young Toby, first clean sheet in the NPL. They'll look back at it when he made his debut. 2-2 against Mickle over a couple of mistakes. He looked assured today. And then having Alex and George back up the top end of the pitch. We've seen with Alex's first goal, having the ability to spin in behind and running behind. And I thought he was causing a lot of problems. George looked back to his best today. And then the bench was super strong, and all I'll ever ask for, and I know all the directors, the chairman, all we'll ever ask for, and the supporters, is hard work, effort, desire, and if we get that week in, week out, we might lose football games, but we'll get a lot of plaudits. And across the course of the season, we've shown that in every single game. We've just wobbled maybe in the last couple, and that's why I've needed to say, what I've said. But I said what's said in that dressing room stays in the dressing room. We set our own standards, and today our standards were really high.
Brilliant. Well, last game of the season, then, how would you conclude it all?
I'm greedy. I want to finish as high as we can do, in the NPL. I could say it now. Are we upset that we haven't made the playoffs? Yeah, we are. Did we have a little ambition? Yeah, we did. I thought that run we went on mid part of the season, it showed how good we were. And as players and as a group, sometimes when you fall short, it affects you psychologically, and it affected our morale a little bit. And we kept getting told by like Lewis Hardcastle that one of the best sides in the league, and we did show that across the course of the season. But the table doesn't lie. We haven't been good enough to get in there, whether or not it's the start or the end. The midsection of the season has been incredible. Some of the highs that we've been on have been brilliant, but we've got to set our targets higher. And I've just said to the lads in there, you're going to have to come to Hyde next season. You have to come to places like Whitby, and we've got to make sure that we're at our very best every single game. So we want to show the fans on Saturday. No, we don't want to show, we want to thank the fans on Saturday, because the fans have been brilliant. The numbers that have travelled today have been brilliant. We want to show the fans and thank the fans what we're all about and what we're going to be about next season, because any side of mine has always got that hard work, that effort, that desire. I'm not a manager to be scared to pull the punches if I have to do, but I haven't had to do to this group, apart from Saturday. Love working with them. So Saturday, let's get down, let's pack out the hive. Let's show our appreciation for the group in there, and they've got to repay that appreciation to the fans Saturday, and hopefully we can go out against a really good Morpeth side, but we want 3 points. We don't want to finish the summer on a defeat. We want to show what we've been about today, and what we've been about today it makes me super proud. So, on that note, I wish Hyde all the best for the season and next season, and we'll lock horns again with them. That's our away campaign finished. We'll finish at the Hyde. We'll be in training Thursday night, and then we'll see everyone Saturday, 3 o'clock for the final game of the season.